Okay, welcome to Bachelor Surprise Anniversary Edition. My buddy Terry Gill and his wife, it's their anniversary today, and I was gonna go ahead and make some shrimp tonight anyway. So how about some shrimp tostadas and white rice for Bachelor Surprise Anniversary Edition? So I got part of the white onion, some lettuce, got some tomatoes, I have some garlic, of course, queso fresco. My homie's mom taught me about this. Well, she didn't teach me, I just observed while we were having dinner at their house. Some Herdez guacamole salsa, guacamole from HEB. There's still some in there from, if you saw the last Bachelor Surprise, you know I use that. We got some cilantro. All right, so the rice I'm gonna put on, and the rice is, I'm gonna do it like this. So here's my little measuring cup. Whatever portion you measure with when you're making rice, regardless if it's a cup, half a cup, or what have you, the rice, you put in one part of rice. So I'm putting in 2 of these into my pot. You put in 1 part of rice, and then for each part of rice, you put in, I say 1.5 now. I used to do 2 parts water, but I do 1.5 now. So I'm gonna put this on the eye while it's going, okay? And what I'm gonna do is take some Himalayan pink salt. I used to call this Himalayan sea salt. And put in there. And a little splash of extra virgin olive oil. This week's flavor is Signature Select extra virgin olive oil. Okay, this is pretty good actually. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the rice. While the eye is on, the rice gets toasty, right? And that's a new way that I've been doing it. So before that gets too toasty, I'm gonna put a little splash of olive oil in there, and I'm gonna put some of this Himalayan sea salt in there. So I've got my rice and my Himalayan sea salt in there, and then you just and olive oil, and then you just shake it around. I don't know if you can see that glistening of the rice. That's how you want it before you put the water in there. And some of you clean your rice. I clean it every once in a while. This one I'm going straight up because it's already 6:55, and we used to eat late at night when I was growing up. Sometimes, 2 parents working, and I'm trying to keep from eating too late because now I try and eat before 8 or 9 o'clock. Anywho, I'm not going to take that measuring cup and measure 4 of those. I'm going to go ahead and do it old school. Now, when you do it old school, whatever portion of rice you have, you want the water to go just above, actually that line that's wearing out of my pot is where the water line should be for this, okay? So I've got my water going, and you know the routine. Let it boil, let it come to a boil, and then once it comes to a boil, you turn it down to low. And then you want a pot with a see-through lid so that you can see when it's down to percolating. There's going to be little vents generated in the rice, and once it's done percolating, that's when you turn it completely off so you don't burn the rice. Okay? Once you perfect that, it's easy to replicate. Okay, so I have my shrimp that I already deveined, but it still has the shells on and the tails. I'm going to go ahead and remove those and get them ready. I'm going to fry them, and we're going to have a fried variant of the shrimp. So now the rice is boiling, right? And this is when we're going to go ahead and put the lid on and turn it down to low. So now we're going to make the seasoning for the shrimp that I'm going to fry. And as you can see, the rice is boiling. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it down to low. And you can see, you'll see all those bubbles in there. All that's going to dissipate, and you'll see it trickle. Now, for the seasoning, what I'm going to use is, how about some Dano's Chipotle? All right, put some of that in there. All right, that's about good on that. And then I think I'm just gonna stay with the Dano's Chipotle for now. Oh no, I have some blackened seasoning. I'm gonna put some blackened seasoning in there. Morton and Bassett blackened seasoning. Now with the flour seasoning, you shake it up and you look at the consistency. It looks pretty good. You can smell it. It smells pretty, ooh, smells good. And then you can taste it. Take that, taste it. Wash your hands before you put it back in there. Ooh, and that's gonna be splendid shrimp. That's where all the flavor is gonna come from. Now we want to take our skillet. Came up with these T-files. I think they sell them at Target. These are pretty good. The best skillets I've ever had to this point. All right, so, and then you're gonna just pour some oil in there. The oil I'm using is Crisco Blends, canola, sunflower, and soybean. All right, excellent source of omega-3 fatty acid. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some of that in there. And you can see where the level is. And I like having my temperature all the way up at first, and then when it comes up to speed, and these are those glass top stoves, a bit different with fire and a bit different with the iron ones, but you want to bring it up to temperature. And while the oil is coming up to temperature, and since that's a low level, you don't want to keep it on high. You want to turn it to halfway when it's about time to cook. The shrimp will cook in about 3 to 4 minutes. So the cook time on this is going to be really small. The prep time, however, is where all the action is. So if I sound rushed, it's because I want to get the lettuce prepped and tomatoes. All right, and that's what the shrimp look like when you shake them in the seasoning. All right, get you a container. Make sure you hold it tight and shake it off. Shake it off. Taylor Swift reference there, I guess. Shake it off, and then those are ready. They're marinating while I prepare the toppings. Now note, when you buy your tomatoes, some of them are going to ripe at a different time depending upon how you pick them. I pick some good ones that are ready for cook within 1, 2, 3 days, and then I pick some that can kind of come to fruition, so to speak, with more time. So this one is the softest one. I'm going to go ahead and use that one. And I have my lettuce chopped up, my tomatoes, and my onions. And hey, that's not a knife. And the oil's ready, and I'm gonna go ahead and take the shrimp and put them in the oil. All right. It shouldn't be too violent. I let it get a little more warm than what I wanted, but we'll take a look at drop 1 or 2 in there for you. You want to grab them, shake off the excess, especially if you're cooking a lot, because the excess starts to clog up and make the oil burn faster. So shake off the excess, put all the shrimps in there, let them cook about 3 to 4 minutes, and then the shrimps will be ready. So while the shrimp are cooking, I started them at 7:18 and now it's 7:20. The shrimp are cooking. I'm going to go ahead and take and put some guacamole first onto the tostada. I do that so that the shrimp doesn't fall off, because the shrimp will go on next. Okay? Now I've lined a steel little bowl that I got from Walmart with some paper towels, and I'm going to take the shrimps and put in there so that they can and there we have it. There's our rice, which is done. A little bit of seasoning, a little leftover lettuce and tomatoes. And there are the shrimp tostadas. I'd like to wish Terry and Monique a happy 7th anniversary. And this is the anniversary edition of Bachelor Surprise. It's the anniversary, the 7th anniversary edition of Bachelor Surprise. Remember, I love you all, and this has been another successful rendition of Bachelor Surprise. Hey, here, let me try one of these. Let me try one. Hold on. Okay. So remember, we put the guacamole on there so the shrimp don't slide off. But that's what it looks like. You know it's going to be a disaster. But let me give it a shot. Can't believe I just smacked. Oh my goodness. They need to put a picture of this under bomb in the dictionary when you look up what's bomb. I gotta go for another one of these. Okay, well, that's no words. That Chipotle, Dano's is coming through. That's the star of the show. However, the cilantro, if you like cilantro, if you don't like cilantro, don't put it on, is absolutely magnificent. You do this, squeeze the lime. When you saw how I picked my tomatoes, that's how I picked my limes, my avocados. One I'm going to use tonight or tomorrow night. The next one I'm going to use in 3 days. And then the next one in 4 to 5 days and so on. So you pick the right ones for now. And then you pick the other ones, that are not so ripe. So you can leave them however you store them. I have a 3-level storage in my refrigerator. And so I have one for lettuce and stuff like that, one for the other items like bell pepper and onions, and then the last one I got some apples down there because I like cold apples. All right, so I love you all. Ta-ta.